All right, viewers, I'm on my way to a meeting advertising in New Jersey. How about that? Another gas station that couldn't make it. Shocked? This is about a comment that a subscriber said to me about he will never buy a new car. And good, you're a smart buyer. In the past, and I'm going way back in the past, that a lot of smart buyers would say, hey, I'll never buy a first generation vehicle ever. You know why? Because they're smart. Because there's so many issues and problems with those cars. And it's no secret, as soon as you pull that car off the lot, it's instantly depreciated by thousands of dollars. And I'm going to get more into that. And sorry for the format. I'm driving and I'm trying to give you some content here. That years ago, I'm going to say probably, and I'm trying to get over like a chest cold here, so excuse me. I'm hacky. I'm coughing more than normal. That I'm going to say 30 years ago, we would hear it all the time in the industry as I was getting into it, that customers would never buy a brand new production vehicle. Now, when you talk about like a proven brand, Honda and Toyota, those consumers felt more confident in buying those cars and the equity and value in those vehicles. It's still that way, but not on the same scale. A lot of customers would never buy a new production vehicle, first-year production vehicle, because of problems many, many years ago with them. We're like, okay, let the instant gratification consumer buy that brand new Cadillac Escalade or EV or whatever it is, right? And just give you current production model of your vehicles, sitting on lots with no sales, towed back that you can't fix, can't figure out, can't get parts, can't program it, can't keep it programmed. None of the accessory systems work the way they're supposed to. That's what they meant years and years ago with far less complicated systems. Let the customer buy that car, drive it for a few years, let the warranty take care of most of the issues. This place is usually slammed over. Yeah, this guy's got a good shop here. They would let that customer buy that car and then let them take the depreciation and all that stuff in their down payment. Once you put your money down on a car, and it's not a highly desirable car or a highly valued car, whatever money you put down, you could just flush that right down the toilet. You're never going to get that back. Even if you went back to return that car after the return clause, because some of it's like 7 days or 3 days, some crap like that. Try 3 weeks later, try and take your, I don't know, pick a number, 50, 60, 80, $100,000 car back. You're not getting your deposit back. Nowhere, even on a used car lot. You're beat. That goes the same for new cars. Regardless of how many problems you have, my buddy bought a brand new Cadillac Escalade. He drove it for, 3 weeks for $100,000. Nothing but issues. He put a big chunk of change down from a car that he traded in and financed a little bit of it, and still, a hefty payment. It was in the dealership for 3 months. He only drove it for a couple weeks. 3 months. They gave him his money back. That's how horrible it is. Now, I don't know if he lost any money. I'm sure he did. Because if you're paying for something you're not using, you're losing money. Plain and simple. They don't care about that. No one's making your car payment but you. But years ago, just like all these pre-owned cars. Plenty of good pre-owned cars out here. Majority of the issues for a new production vehicle usually are worked out within the first 3 years. That's a long time. They finally get their shit together. Programming issues, update issues, manufacturing issues, parts installed wrong issues, parts not plugged in issues. The list goes on and on and on. Now we have guys that can't machine engines properly. Like, give me a break. That vehicle that finally makes it back into the market is a vehicle that is depreciated drastically. So years ago, it was like, I don't know, as soon as it rolled off the lot, it was $5,000 depreciated. I'm going to tell you it's probably $20,000 or $30,000 current year depreciation. What you're not also factoring in is all the ripping off that these manufacturers and used car dealers did with charging you all these extra fees and service charges, and just because they have the car and nobody else does, and you were upside down on your other car 10 grand because you had to have that car, and now that car's not worth shit, and now you want me to give another car, and I can only get one bank to buy you, so I got to flip that 20 onto this car Follow the story? And then now that you didn't make good payments and your credit history sucks, or it's not as good as it was because it's a very current thing for credit, that here's another business out of business here, 2-bay gas station. That used to be a 2-bay garage. Fuel went first and then it was service for a while. That now you're so underwater, it would take, I don't know, God to reach down and pull you out so you could take a deep breath. And the banks and financial institutions will only bury themselves so much. They'll bury you, no problem, but they don't want to bury themselves so much with a vehicle that's upside down. So what does that mean? You have to reach for another car that potentially has more equity in it. So then they say, well, I can't give you a Hyundai Excel for a Hyundai Excel, right? I got to take your Hyundai Excel that's worth nothing, and I got to get you into, I don't know, we'll just use it for example. I got to get you into an SRT 300 because this car actually has some type of value if I have to repossess it. So the banks and the dealership won't get so hurt, knowing that chances are it's going to be a repo. Hence, repos 20, 24, and 25 are hitting records. So buying a new car today, you're just losing money after money after money. Dodge and Chrysler are trying to sell the V8 Dodge Ram for $80,000 to $100,000 for a nothing Dodge Ram V8. Are they out of their mind? It's 10 like that. Driving around for 3 years for $3,500. Buy another one for $3,500. Not $100,000. People are crazy. There's no vehicles worth anything, and most of the time when people are trading their cars in most cases, if they don't own it, they're negative equity. And that's facts. And you don't want to be negative equity because you never get rid of that negative equity. If you try to get into another car, your car payment is not going to go down. Not going to go down. It's only going to go up. They're only going to bury you more. They're going to put more dirt over your head. So yeah. So in the old days, it was as soon as you left a lot, car depreciated $5,000. I'm going to tell you, today's depreciation, as soon as you roll off a lot, including your down payment, has got to be near $20,000 or $30,000 in the first year, depending on the price of the car. And people are spending $50,000, $60,000 for average new car prices today. That's a huge car payment to choke down every month. So yeah, think about that. That, you know, it used to be you buy a car, and it was a good car, right? It was a good car because they're not making that many good cars anymore. That you might be able to make some money on that car in a few years. It ain't like that now. Try and buy a good Honda Civic from 1990 to 2000. You're paying a premium for those cars because they were good cars. Try that with a newer Honda Civic today. They're garbage. They're not going to have any value into those. And what they do is the popularity bases the value. Street value. People are buying them, right? Then they say, oh yeah, they're buying them, so let's charge them more. Go figure. Food prices are high, people are still paying. Keep the prices where they're at. Whatever the market will bear. And that's kind of where we're at. Gas prices $3 a gallon, so what? Raise it to $4. See if they stop buying gas. Raise milk to $15 a gallon. See where the breaking point is for the consumer. Firestone's not busy. Big Firestone shop not slammed here in Glassboro. So I'm almost to my destination. And Mr. Tire coming up here. When I mean slam, that means cars everywhere, people everywhere. Mr. Tire, empty bays. Get a closer look here. Yeah, they're not full. I'm gonna go by Midas. This is Midas Glassboro. This is where I started in 1991. This place has been open, closed, open, closed. Hey, how about that? They got the same promotion we do. They slammed? Nope. That's a huge job. All right, guys, chime in. Can't afford to buy it in cash? Can't afford it.